Hello, everybody. This is Mark Torgel of the original Toxic Avengers saying I survived the podcast with Neil on Without Your Head. And I still have most of my head.
All right, we're back, and we're joined by Lloyd Kaufman. We want to welcome you to Without Your Head.
Woo-hoo-hoo.
Yeah.
I love Lloyd Kaufman. He's the best. Oh, thank you so much. Who is it? Was that Troy? Thank you, Troy. I had no idea you admired me so much. But and John, do you like Lloyd Kaufman?
Oh, you better believe it.
Oh, you guys so nice.
We were a little late coming on the show because Troy and on were showing Lloyd how much they love the man.
Well, I gave, if I remember correctly, I met Troy at the Manhole Club. I gave him a lap dance.
Mm-hmm.
He knew me as Chino in those days, and we had quite a good time together.
Ixnay on the amplay. Is in there.
That's not what you told me when the lights were low and I was giving you that.
Oh man.
That manorexic dance.
That's some good advice for up and coming movie makers. If you need some extra money to make your money, you can get a few bucks down at the Manhole Club.
Yes, well, if you're an independent filmmaker, it's the giant devil-worshipping international media conglomerates have economic blacklisted most of the independent artists. So, we have to kind of be sort of work outside the box, shall we say.
Mm-hmm.
So, and of course, John, are you still on? Or?
Mm-hmm. I'm here, live and well.
Well, John's familiar with Tromaville. John and I met when I played the Toxic Avenger, and we were in prison together. And I used to dress up as the Toxic Avenger, and I was his bitch. John spent all his cigarette money on me. He called me Toxie in those days because we were in prison together. And
it was good times.
Yeah, it was good times, yeah.
It's always good to bring up some good memories here on the show.
What I didn't like was when they wouldn't let us flush the toilets in prison, and we had to defecate in paper bags and throw them out the window. That was no fun. That was no fun. Remember that, John?
Yeah. Those were hard times, but other than that, great.
Well, don't get arrested in France. That's what you learned on that one.
Yes, well, of course not, unless you're a snail. But that's something else. Now, let's get back to business here. Now, what were we discussing? Something very important about independent cinema.
Yes.
For the young people of... Where are you broadcasting from?
Two of us are in Massachusetts. One of us is in West Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
Actually broadcasting all over the internet.
Wow. Well, the young people of today, I think, can look at Neil as a wonderful role model.
Oh, definitely.
I think that's the key, because he, like at Thanksgiving, at Thanksgiving, Neil marched to the beat of a different drumstick.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what's important when you're an independent artist. What do you think, Neil?
Definitely. I have a video up on our website where after Thanksgiving, my whole neighborhood's there's a million wild turkeys. This year there's 40 of them in our neighborhood.
Really?
Yeah. So I went there with
are you
the video
referring to the United States Senate by any chance? Or?
No, actual.
Are you referring to a wonderful senator from West Virginia whose name is on about 3,000 schools and bridges? Mr. Harry Byrd? Senator Harry Byrd? Is that the turkey you're talking about?
Oh, man.
Size the limit senator whose name is on just about every street, bridge, school in West Virginia? That Byrd? That turkey?
Speaking of birds.
I'm not bitter. The Toxic Avenger, Troma, 35 years at Troma. We're blacklisted economically everywhere. We can't get our movies. Street dead. It's all about chicken zombies and birds. Where is Senator Byrd when we need him?
Exactly. There was something actually when I saw this when I was watching all the specials on the 3-disc set, and some people were wearing shirts where it says Attack of the Zombie Chickens, but then the movie is Night of the Chicken Dead. When was the name changed?
it never was called Zombie Chickens. That's something to do with Steven. He's probably doing a remake. You know how 20 years later they copy our movies, right?
Right.
Steven Spielberg be making a movie about zombie cows or something. Poltrygeist, Night of the Chicken Dead. That's what it's all about.
Definitely. Has anyone ever came to you like, I want to make a big budget remake? It's like, let's make a Toxic Avenger.
Oh my God! So many people want to remake the Toxic Avenger. You cannot imagine. By Charles Kaufman. Mother's Day is going to be remade by a guy named Brett Ratner. I'm real happy about that.
It was met with deafening silence.
Well, at any rate, so that's and the Toxic Avenger. Lots of directors want to remake that. I kind of want to keep Toxic Avenger unless somebody comes along with a lot of money, in which case I'll sell out real fast. But I stick to my principles.
Exactly. Have you ever seen any?
Be true. What?
I was just wondering, has it ever got far enough where you saw someone's a script they had for a remake of Toxic Avenger?
No, it's usually they come in and they want to give us money to remake it, and I'm not really interested. I mean, obviously, if there's a huge amount of money, and as I say, we Mother's Day is being remade. That's a Troma movie directed by Charles Kaufman, my talented and better-looking brother, and Brett Ratner is producing it. And Eli Roth showed Mother's Day at his bar mitzvah because he couldn't get any girls to dance with him. So Mother's Day is a pretty damn good film, and my brother's trusting Brett Ratner to do a good job with it. So, and of course, hopefully we'll make some money with it.
Yeah.
But the Toxic Avengers, we're holding out. Maybe we've had some offers. We've had a lot of offers, but they ain't good enough.
Yeah. Any names ever come up? Will Smith as the Toxic Avenger or anything like that?
No. We haven't made a deal for Toxic Avenger.
Yeah.
So, if we do, we'll announce it on.
I'm Without Your Head. Whatever this
head
is.
Show.
Right.
What's the name of your show again? Chop Off Your Head. What is it?
Without Your Head.
Without Your Head. Yes. We will announce it here exclusively.
Excellent.
I like this. I'm going to hold you to this.
Definitely.
You bet.
We have it in writing. We got Tommy here. He's been on hold for a while. Let's get we got a call here. Tommy.
Who?
Tommy.
Tommy. Oh yeah, little Tommy. I remember him. I used to. I put candy in my pants pockets and reach in and find a circus peanut, but it wasn't really a circus peanut.
Right. I think we saw those in Poltrygeist.
Yes. Those were malted milk balls, I think. At any rate, what has little Tommy to say?
Well, this is Tommy Doom from the chat rooms, and first of all, I love your movies, and I want to ask, how does it feel to be America's uncle?
Are you talking about Troma's movies?
Yep.
You love Troma's movies?
Yep.
Well, thank you very much. That's really nice. That's better than getting an Oscar.
How does it feel to be America's uncle?
Well, I think it's a great honor and a great privilege, and I will do my best to uphold the principle and the dignity of the uncle. The dirty uncle. I mean, the America's uncle.
Yeah. This kind of bizarre here. He's calling you uncle, and he's talking about bouncing on his knee.
Yeah, this is quite a show. Well, Tommy, what movies have you seen recently that you liked?
Well, like they were saying, I saw Poltrygeist. That one was good.
Poltrygeist, Night of the Chicken Dead. What did you like about it? Was there something that particularly stood out?
Not necessarily. I just thought it was an outstanding film, and I loved Romeo and Juliet.
And Romeo and Juliet loved you too. You know, Stephen King discovered Poltrygeist, Night of the Chicken Dead, and he put it on his homepage.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah.
So that was pretty cool.
What about Poltrygeist? Because you actually put a lot of money into this one, like your own money. and you got to release at a theater. You really wanted this one to be like kind of a bigger deal.
Well, I felt that I got very interested in the fast food issue. McDonald's moved in next to the Troma building, and they were not very pleasant neighbors. They did some naughty. The worst of it was we were infested with raccoon-sized rats. They were in our basement, and all of our history, 30 years of Troma history, were in our basement. And the rats were living in that in our posters and news clippings and negatives, and they were basically weekending in our archives. And I had to go down there and fight the Friedman, our editor. And it turned out that Gabe had actually worked in a fast food establishment. He worked in a fast food chicken restaurant.
Yeah.
And so working at Troma was a big step down. And he suggested that since I, Lloyd Kaufman, enjoy making movies with political, sociological themes, that it would be a good theme to make a Troma movie about. And being a gay married man, I've wept through many Broadway musicals, especially those with Liza Minnelli, and that's where I decided I would put in some songs, some singing and dancing. Tommy, I met Tommy at the NAMBLA meeting down in, where was it, Tommy? Anyway, we met, and you know how it is in NAMBLA, and so decided we'd put in some singing and dancing, and Poltrygeist was created.
Yeah,
It's been a very. The New York Times gave it a rave review. The
Entertainment Magazine.
Weekly, yeah, Entertainment Weekly, and it's played at about 300 cinemas across the country.
Mm-hmm. When you asked Tom, you're like stood out for him about the movie. Actually, to me, I thought the music. I liked the whole thing, but the music was one of the best parts for me.
Well, there's a song called Slow Fast Food Love, and James Gunn, who, used to work with me, and he wrote Romeo and Juliet. He now wrote Slither and Dawn of the Dead, and he's a big shot. And he has a TV show on VH1 now about Scream Queens. He says that the sequence in Poltrygeist, in the fullness of time, that will be taught by professors, by film professors and teachers, because it's such an amazing, and I agree, I think it really is an amazing sequence. It stands on its own, that song. Slow Fast Food Love. Just, if that almost, I think that song alone makes the film worth seeing.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know what was in the commentary track or one of the documentaries on there. Like, the guy actually composed the music, like you guys found him online.
Well, we put up a note on the internet. If you wrote the lyrics to the songs, and then we put a note on the internet saying we need somebody to score Poltrygeist and also to our lyrics for no money. And if you're that person, click here. And this guy in Edmonton, Canada, the center of Canada, in the middle of nowhere, Doogie Bannis, he clicked. And he ended up scoring the film as well as writing the music for the songs that for which we wrote the lyrics. He wrote all the music. In fact, he wrote some of the lyrics too. The Generous General song he wrote, and he just did a wonderful job. And thanks to the internet, we connected. And Poltrygeist will lead to big things for Doogie Bannis.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you think the internet's like becoming a good place to advertise or get the word out or get people to help you?
Well, for a company, that's a good question, Neil. And for the company like Troma, whose fans are young and very much technically oriented, the internet is invaluable. I mean, this is our 35th year coming up in 2009, and it's thanks to the internet that we're able to communicate with our fans, because the mainstream media boycotts us. The mainstream media blacklists us, basically.
Right.
And it's only thanks to the internet that we're still around. And that brings me to a very important point, net neutrality on the internet, because I am the chairman of the Independent Film and Television Alliance. And this is the trade association for all the independent movie studios, including Roger Corman and Troma and the guys who made Crash and Monster. And And we have a big problem because the small number of the devil-worshipping conglomerates have economically blacklisted us. And the MPAA, which is the Motion Picture Association of America, which is owned and run by Sony and Viacom and Paramount and Columbia and the big guys, they want to get rid of net neutrality on the Internet. And net neutrality on the Internet is the way the Internet is now. Totally democratic, totally free, totally open. Anyone can get on. Everybody's equal. If Neil, if Without a Head has a clever website, people will go to it. Troma gets 500,000 site every month. And Disney and Troma have the same ability on the website, but the bad guys and the phone companies want to change that, and they want to screw it up and be able to control the wires going into your homes, and put in sort of a Autobahn, an expensive internet, so that only the NBC, CBS, ABC will be able to be seen on the internet, and we have to fight that because that's very, very, very important. So. Yes, the Internet is extremely important, extremely useful, and it's a great source of it for American independent art, but we need to protect net neutrality on the Internet. And if you go to Troma.com, www.troma.com, or you go to my MySpace, I've done some PSAs informing you about the issues of net neutrality on the Internet, and also speaking out against media consolidation, because if we're not careful, Rupert Murdoch and Fox will own every form of information, and we'll just be getting one source, and then we will end up being like George Orwell's
1984.
Gone with the Wind.
Right. Just nonetheless, maybe not as important topic about the internet, but is it when you guys started to get online? Was it easier to interact with all the fans of Troma, and did it make you realize that there was such a bigger audience out there than maybe you realized?
Well, Troma has always been interactive with its fans. We have always, I have always been out there in the trenches with the fans at Comic-Con, MegaCon, DragonCon. I've gone to movie theaters all over the country to meet the fans. I've written books, so I go to book signings and meet the fans. And the fans have actually guided us over the years. The fans were the ones who told us about video cassettes, and we got into video cassettes long before the majors did. In fact, Redneck Zombies is the first movie shot on video that actually got distributed. Redneck Zombies came out, the thinking in the industry was that if it's not shot on celluloid, you can't distribute it. And our fans told us that video was the next thing, and that if something was interesting and provocative and exciting, if it's shot on toilet paper, you should distribute it. So we distributed Redneck Zombies. And Toxic Avenger was the very first movie of its kind that was distributed on videotape. And it's a seminal movie, and it was a huge, it proved distribute movies with gore and sex and violence on videotape. And it alerted us to the website. We started a website. Troma's website came out of the fact that our fans were telling us, get on the Internet. And we did in 1993. We had it. Also, our fans told us about DVD. Mm-hmm. I would never heard of DVD. I was signing books, and the fans said, hey, have you heard about DVD? Go and get into it and go look at it. And of course, I had a lot of VD, so it wasn't that difficult to change the station. You just put a D in front, just change one letter.
Right.
And I discovered before the major studios, and Troma was way out ahead on DVD, and it's what a wonderful medium it is.
Oh,
so
definitely.
Our fans have been very, very interactive with us, even before the Internet became as powerful as it is. And now, of course, if you go to the Troma website or you go to my MySpace, or our fans are kind of, they pick me up at the airport. They volunteer for MegaCon or DragonCon or Comic-Con, and they help us with our movies. When we were filming Poltrygeist, Night of the Chicken Dead, we were filming up in Buffalo. Our fans were in the movie. They were in the crowd scenes and the protest scenes, and our fans were in the fast food love, the slow fast food love musical. They're in there. Their fans are dancing and singing it.
Yeah.
So the internet is absolutely invaluable, and it's an amazing source of information and art. And we have to fight to preserve net neutrality. And your listeners should please, go and contact your Congress people and the FCC and make sure that they don't get rid of net neutrality, which is democratic internet, because the major studios and the phone companies are trying to get rid of it.
Mm-hmm. We got another caller here. We got El Santo.
Hey, Mr. Kaufman, how you doing, man?
This is amazing. It's Christmas and El Santa Claus has called. Oh, thank you so much. I hope that I've been a good boy. Have I been a good boy? Is Poltrygeist, does that show that I'm a good boy, El Santa Claus? At any rate, El Santa Claus, what was your question or statement?
Well, my statement, first of all, I got to say, Toxic Avenger has been one of my favorite movies on my top 10 list, Oh, okay. I grew up watching your movies, the Nukem High movie, the Nazis Must Die. I know that came from your production. And, ask you a question. I first discovered your movies on the USA Network. Did the USA Network made a deal with you, or did you get a big piece from that?
Well, that's a good question. This is a typical, and here's how the industry works. A new technology or channel will be established, like USA Network, and nobody wants to. The major movies don't want to be there, and the major studios don't want to put their movies. So I think it was Universal and Paramount owned the USA Network. So they would come to us and say, "Oh, we're just starting our network and we don't have any money, but we'd like to show you movies. And when we get established, then you'll be in with us and we'll pay you lots of money when we get successful." So we would give them our movies, and they played about 60 Troma movies like Toxic Avenger, Class of Nukem High, Sergeant My PD, a huge number of our movies. But then, when they became successful, then they kicked us out. And that's the way it works. They use the independents for cannon fodder, and then once they become very successful, then they dump us. And that is that's been the same way for 35 years.
That's a shame, because
it's very very discouraging.
Right. Because I tell you, when they play your movies there, it's like it should be till Saturday night, because to me,
Quentin Tarantino and Peter Jackson and Kevin Smith and they all were very much grew up with Troma movies, and and the problem is when you're an independent, you just unfortunately you're going to be on the outside looking in, and it's only thanks to our fans. It's look at Without the Head. They have to search us out. Our fans don't. They actually have to make the extra effort to find our movies, whereas High School Musical Part 3, the $100 million on advertising, it's everywhere. Mm-hmm. And you can't miss it.
The first time I started hearing about Poltrygeist, it was all over MySpace and the internet, and that's where I first heard about it.
Yeah, through the fans, right?
Exactly.
Because Troma has no money for advertising, so thank heavens for our fans. We would not exist for 35 years. Troma's the longest running independent movie studio in history. And today it's a miracle that we're still around. And it's only because our fans have made the extra effort to, keep in touch with each other and let each other know that Poltrygeist is out on DVD, or it's going to be, like I'm going up to Toronto tomorrow. The Bloor Cinema is going to be playing Toxic Avenger and Cannibal the Musical. And I'm going And I'm also at an event tomorrow night and Friday called Sister something or other. I can't remember the name of it. But our fans will make sure that enough people show up, so I can at least get my airfare back to Tromaville.
It is always word of mouth, though. That's true. That's
well,
how you always hear about it.
With Poltrygeist, it's word of beak.
True.
We spread the bird. With Poltrygeist, we spread the bird. We don't spread the word.
Is there everything else, El Santo?
You wasn't going to ask this question, but the cartoon and the action figures and all that. I mean, you probably had pretty good piece of cut from that, huh?
Toxic Crusaders, the Toxic Crusader cartoon show and all those merchandise were cut. They were destroyed because we signed a deal with a certain division of a movie studio that was supposed to make a movie, and then all of the cartoons and everything was dependent on that movie, and then the division of the big studio, actually it was called New Line, they reneged on the contract, and that destroyed the whole thing. So it was actually, even though those cartoons are wonderful and the action figures are magnificent, it was very short-lived, and it was very tragic. And we were destroyed by the mainstream. They destroyed us.
Oh, yeah.
That's very sad. But we're still around. It was thanks to the fans. We're still around, and New Line is gone. New Line is gone. They're a division of Time Warner, and they've been closed. But they did destroy the Toxic Avenger.
Right.
Yeah. Do you have any of the action figures, Santo?
No, my cousin does.
Oh, okay.
He still has it, and I say, don't throw it away. You need to keep it. He said, all right, you want it? I say, yes. He said, no, I'm keeping it then.
Where are you, Santo? Where do you live? Where?
New Orleans.
Oh, great.
Yeah. You need to make a movie over here. They're booming with movies here.
Louisiana. There's great incentives. The state of Louisiana is, very much encourages filmmaking and has wonderful studio and subsidies and all sorts of stuff going on there.
I know that they made a couple of movies recently here in Cape Cod, and they're making a movie studio, I believe, in Plymouth here in Massachusetts. Yeah.
Oh, amazing. Well, my wife is the New York State Film Commissioner, so I need to stay in New York and make movies.
I want to nominate you, Mr. Kaufman, to make a Katrina movie. I think you can do a good job on that.
Thank you.
Thanks for calling in, Santo.
What do you do, Santo? What do you do, Santo?
What I do, I aggravate these guys every week.
Say it for me. You know that.
I'm a big fan of the movies that a lot of people don't appreciate. I grew up watching the old Lucha Libre, Santo movies and all these classic flicks, and
Do you make?
I'm sorry?
Do you make movies?
Well, I don't make movies. I want a guy to just play around in the video editing world, and making little short films,
Yeah. We made a contest recently for Halloween where our fans made their own little movies, and Santo made one for that.
Oh, terrific. Well, we have a film festival coming up in January, Troma Dance Film Festival. It takes place in Park City, Utah during the Sundance Film Festival. Same time and same place as Sundance. If you go to www.tromadance.com, www.tromadance.com, you can download the forms and submit your movie. And it's a really nice festival. It takes place right in the same place, same time as Sundance.
That's cool.
Oh, that's cool, yeah.
And Santo, how do you earn a living? What do you do to earn a living?
Oh, what I do? Let's say I work for this beautiful country of ours.
Yeah. Actually, Santos told me off air what he does, and I don't think he's supposed to talk about it.
No, it's no big deal. Mad money, brother, mad money.
Sounds like you might want to invest. It sounds like you are very well-to-do. Maybe you'd like to invest in we like those people who can't talk about what they do.
Well, Mr. Carville, I appreciate, man. This is very honored talking to you. Your movies, brought me a lot of enjoyment.
Well, thank you, and keep an eye on Troma.com. We bring out one new movie every month, and they're all one of a kind. You'll either love them or hate them, but you won't forget them. And
right.
They'll definitely challenge you and give you an adventure in the cinema. So thank you, Santa.
All right, thank you so much, sir. All right.
Nice to talk to you. Good luck.
All right, thank you.
Thanks for calling, man. Let's see. We also got Jose here. Jose, you still with us?
¿Qué pasa? Hello, Mr. Kaufman. How are you?
Hey, hello, Jose. How are you?
How are you? Hey, nice to meet you.
Where are you from?
I'm from New Jersey.
Oh.
Yeah.
Where in New Jersey?
Union City.
Oh, because New Brunswick, the G Street the G Street Playhouse in New Brunswick has just finished a run of the Toxic Avenger musical. Did you know that?
No, I didn't. I'm like an hour away from New Brunswick, but yeah, I used to work in the hospital in Robert Wood Johnson.
Oh.
I used to work right there.
Well, had you gone to see the musical, you would have probably had to go to the hospital.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, 2 questions for you real quick.
Very good musical. Very good musical. What's your question, Jose?
Yeah, I was going to ask 2 questions. In your relation to Andy Kaufman, just a far stretch, I figure you're...
We were very good friends. We were good buddies. Unfortunately, I had to kill him. But other than that...
That's not true.
I did have to kill him. I'm sorry.
Oh, my God. And 2, being that you're in the entertainment and you make independent films, I was wondering, did it ever cross your guys' minds to, ever make a movie I don't know, there was a double murder, suicide, sort of a wrestler who snaps, and kills his wife and kid and himself, to make a really dramatic exclamation point, in your in your film industry?
That sort of sounds like something that I will be doing.
That would be awesome.
I certainly don't think I'll be writing about it.
Oh, jeez.
Thank you for reminding me that I have to take care of that. But just around Christmas time.
Christmas is coming up.
December 24th will be a good time for it.
Yeah.
But thank you. That's very cheerful. Lovely.
I'm sorry. Thank you. Have a good day.
Happy Kwanzaa.
Oh, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Thanks for calling in, Jose.
You're welcome, Jackie.
Jose,
bye.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
All right. Anyone else wants to call in? It's 508-644.
Actually, I'm shooting a... sorry, do your phone number again?
No, that's all right. It's 508-644-8503. You on? Sorry.
I'm shooting a music video next weekend for a band, Not the Government. It's a band called Not the Government, and it actually involves a young couple who commit suicide. So Jose's kind of on point there.
The beginning of Poltrygeist on the DVD, you have a little intro where you talk about the Chinese bootlegs, which I found that's really funny. But also, how much does that hurt your movies or movies in general?
Well, concerning Poltrygeist, let me tell you, the truth is stranger than chicken. You should know that. I think bootlegging helps us. I think
really?
It's like advertising, I mean, if we see that Poltrygeist is being bootlegged on the internet, we send a lawyer's letter and we tell them to stop. But I think in a way it sort of helps us because it gives us a little more publicity and most of the bootlegging all it does is give us free advertising.
Yeah, it kind of opens up people. That's how they find it. I
don't really. In a country like China where it was a little unfair because with Poltrygeist, we hadn't even made a video master. I mean, some theater projectionist must have taken our 35 millimeter print and made a video copy and then sold it to somebody who then sold it to somebody in China, and then they made copies because we didn't even have a poster when the Chinese bootleg came out.
Yeah.
Chinese made their own key art. They made their own credits. If you get the Chinese DVD, Alfred Molina and Stanley Tucci are starring in Poltrygeist. They obviously got all that stuff somewhere from either I don't know if they got it from a laboratory or from a projectionist, but they got it early in the game because we hadn't even made our video master, and we hadn't made one, so they had to take it off of print.
Mm-hmm.
So that isn't right, but what can we do? Again, I make movies for people to see. I think that's more important than making money. And I want to be able to break even.
Yeah.
But just if a couple of billion people in China are watching Poltrygeist, that's better than watching the Olympics.
Yeah, exactly.
Where they are. God damn it.
And then if you want, then if you get the official DVD, you get all the extras.
Yeah, well, the Chinese DVDs didn't have all the extras on it, but it is pretty nice. They made really beautiful menus. They made artwork that's better. I mean, the box is beautiful. You can go, if you look at, I showed it on the the Troma DVD. I held up the Chinese bootleg.
We got Astro Creep here.
Oh.
Hi, I'm a great admirer of both watching them. And my question was, what do you think is the most difficult part of filmmaking?
That's a very good question. I think the most difficult part is, it's all the independent filmmaker, and you're doing everything is difficult, every step of the way. But I guess the most difficult part is penetrating the hymen of the mainstream. Because as I've mentioned, the television market is totally closed to independent cinema, and the movie theaters are pretty closed to it. We're basically blacklisted economically, and I guess that's the most difficult part. But any time we do penetrate the hymen of the mainstream, we are the ones who get effed. And that's very discouraging. So I think that's probably the most difficult part of being an independent, visionary, forward-looking artist.
Anybody who got their start with you and then went on to become a mainstream star or do something big on their own, have they ever thanked you? Or
Ron Jeremy, his first non-porno film was Class of Nukem High Part 2.
Yeah.
And he's a big star. He's a very big star.
Mm-hmm.
Big.
Yeah, exactly.
Really big. And and what about Cannibal the Musical? That was Trey Parker and Matt Stone.
Yeah, I love that movie.
On to do South Park. That was big.
Yeah, I'm just saying
Oliver Stone. You ever hear of him?
Oh
yeah. He directed Taboo 34, I think, and Strap On Sally Part 12. He started with Troma, right?
I think so.
And how about Vincent D'Onofrio? You ever watch?
We're gonna bring him up.
Vincent D'Onofrio. What is he? He's on TV in PSI.
Yeah, and of course he's Private Pile in my favorite role.
What's it?
Yeah. Private Pile in Full Metal Jacket.
Oh, Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah.
He blows out. Oh, he's fantastic. It's amazing. Yeah. That's a wonderful part. Yeah, that's a great movie. But he's on the most popular television show in the world, that CSI show, whatever it is. Mm-hmm. That is the most popular show in the world. And he played a character called Lobotomy in the first Turn On, which we made in 1983, I think. The first Turn On. And Vincent D'Onofrio played a character called Lobotomy, and now he acts as if he's had a lobotomy. So it's almost a big influence. And not to mention
so it all works out.
Sizzle Beach USA has got Kevin Costner in it, and that's his first movie. And The Wedding Party, which we didn't make, but we own it, The Wedding Party is Robert De Niro's first movie. And Dustin Hoffman's first movie is another movie that's in our library. Dustin Hoffman's first movie is called Madigan's Million. So there are a lot of very, very important people. Fergie, Fergie from the
Black Eyed Peas.
Black Eyed Peas is in Monster in the Closet. Would you believe? And how about Samuel L. Jackson? Samuel L. Jackson's first movie, financed by Troma, called Death by Temptation. Death by Temptation. Freddie Jackson, Samuel L. Jackson, Andrew Jackson, Mahalia Jackson, they're all in Death by Temptation. Mm-hmm. And Troma financed it. You can buy all these DVDs on www.troma.com.
Excellent.
Safely and securely.
Yeah, and for the people who can't spell, which you'd be pretty bad if you couldn't spell Troma, I guess, .com, but we'll have the link right on our website.
Oh, thank you so much. And by the way, may I make a special suggestion?
Right.
Cannibal the Musical has a 13th anniversary double disc DVD that is just coming out.
Awesome.
With new interviews with Trey Parker and Matt Stone and all sorts of very interesting, and it's very low priced because Troma, the Clash, do you remember the Clash? They were Troma fans. Mm-hmm. And the Clash told us to keep our prices very low and so that our fans could afford it. And they always kept their concert tickets and their albums a low price. And we do the same thing, and like the Clash. So you can get Poltrygeist 3-disc DVD or Cannibal the Musical. You can get it we've kept the prices really inexpensive so that our fans can afford it.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Cannibal the Musical.
Yeah,
yes. Yes. Well, the double disc 13th anniversary DVD is really a work of art.
Yeah, because I have the other DVD and it's got some specials on, but I'll definitely pick up the double disc.
Yeah, the double disc is it's got new. You'll see Trey and Matt and stuff about Team America. It's got all sorts of stuff on it. It's really cool.
Yeah.
I can't believe that's been 13 years. That kind of blows my mind.
Yeah.
I remember. I got it was like someone had so somebody, I think Troy's girlfriend actually worked at maybe we shouldn't say, but she worked at the video store and she got me the, what do you call the, not the trailer, but the
screener.
The screener, exactly.
Oh, good. Yeah. Great.
Astro, did you have anything else?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Well, thank you very much. It was very nice talking to you. That was a very good question. I hope I wasn't too verbose.
No, you were great.
Thank you.
Thank you for calling in, Astro. You're a good man.
Thank you.
Yeah. For people making their own low budget movies, is there any like a theme that you think they overuse today? Maybe they should get away from something and.
Well, I think really the only purpose to making films is to do what you believe in. I think the key is to remember that film is an art form and that you should do what you believe in, and that life goes by very fast. And, those TV shows are all well and good, but most of it's garbage. And you're better off, living by Shakespeare's maxim, to thine own self be true. Do what is in your soul. That's what art is all about. And if you want to make money and have a big house and cocaine and hookers and all that, I wouldn't advise going into the movie business. You can be rich, you can make money, and indeed I have been lucky, but I've had a few good luck experiences, but very few people there to make money than going into the movie business. And I think that you should make movies if you are really interested in expressing your soul, and I think that's the most important theme. So I think the biggest mistakes that filmmakers make is that they try to make the next Toxic Avenger. I keep getting people pitching me, I'm going to tell you how to make the next Toxic Avenger. I don't need you to make the next Toxic Avenger. You should make the first whatever's in your soul.
Right.
We don't need another Pulp Fiction. We don't need another Saw Part 6. We need the first. We need Eli Roth to come up with the first Hostel. That's why he's successful. He came up with the first Hostel. He made Cabin Fever. And he's, by the way, a big Troma fan and a great guy. So I think that would be my advice to young people starting out: do what you believe in. To thine own self be true.
Exactly.
A phrase coined by William Shakespeare, who wrote that amazing book, 101 money-making screenplay ideas, otherwise known as Hamlet.
Mm-hmm. There was, I think it was on the commentary you mentioned, it was one of the scenes, you didn't really like the line, "I know it's fattening, but I love the skin," but that it got bigger reaction.
I liked the line. I
just didn't think it was that great.
I didn't think it was hilarious, but boy, every audience, that's one of the biggest laughs in the movie.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I was just wondering, is there anything else that really surprised you that, fans really remember, in any of your movies, a particular character or something that you really didn't think much of and, people still talk about?
Well, certainly one of the most famous scenes in all of history is the full head-crushing scene in The Toxic Avenger. That's for sure. I mean, that is something that, France, Germany, Japan, all over the world, people still remember where they were when they saw the full head-crushing scene in The Toxic Avenger, because there was nothing like it. So that's something that surely stands out. I think that the slow fast food love song in Poltrygeist is something that you don't forget. Certainly Joe Flyshaker's explosive diarrhea scene in Poltrygeist is something Steven Spielberg's next film. I do believe that Nixon versus Frost has, I think Ron Howard did insert a full-fledged explosive diarrhea scene after he saw Poltrygeist, but I've only heard that. I'm not sure if that's really true.
Yeah,
I can see Langella doing that. I can see that.
What's that?
I can see Frank Langella doing that.
I think so. I think that's what I heard, that it was Frank Langella, but I could be wrong. You never know.
Mm-hmm. Actually, when I was telling John when I watched the movie, I kept thinking of a former guest of ours, Herschel Gordon Lewis, because he's a big fan of fried chicken. I was just wondering if he had any problems, or have you heard anything from Herschel Gordon Lewis about your portrayal of fried chicken in the movie?
Herschel and I are good buddies. I've not sent him both in Florida. I see him about once a year because I go to MegaCon in Orlando, and he lives not far from there. And in fact, he is. There's a short interview with Herschel on the Make Your Own Damn Movie DVD box set. Make Your Own Damn Movie, based on my book, Make Your Own Damn Movie. There's a 5-disc box set, and there's a very nice interview with Herschel, and he talks about how he wanted to film fried chicken, and but I don't eat chicken, so I don't eat meat or fowl. I do eat chicken flesh, however. But Herschel's great. He's a wonderful person, and we've been buddies, for a long time.
Yeah. So you're not a fan of any fast food?
Not really. I kind of, actually Starbucks. Even though they are all over the place, I must admit the coffee is good and it's fast, and the people working there couldn't be nicer, and they take care of they give their employees health care. You get health care if you work there. I mean, I don't really see what's wrong with Starbucks. But the other fast food places, McDonald's and Kentucky and all that stuff, that's just awful.
Yeah.
There's nothing that the food, it makes you obese. The food is unhealthy. It makes children obese. The land is destroyed by these disgusting-looking structures. The animals are tortured when they're slaughtered. They are tortured before and during the slaughtering of them. The carcasses and the manure of the animals are defiling this big blue planet of ours. I mean, there is nothing good about fast food industry. It exploits the workers. It exploits the customers. It's just awful. And it's, you just go to Disneyland and look at the product of the obesity. Just look at the product of fast food right at Disneyland.
Yeah, actually,
it's not just at Disneyland; it's everywhere.
Actually, here in my hometown of Sandwich, there are no. I have no fast food restaurants.
Good for you. But on the other
it's
hand,
not just me. But...
in other words, there's no reason that fast food shouldn't be healthy.
Right.
Be healthy, and I think that movies like Poltrygeist, and I think young people are getting the message, and I think that people, I think the fast food companies will react to people who say, I'm not going to eat, garbage. I'm not going to put garbage into my system.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not going to do it. I'm going to stay away. And when you start serving food that's healthy and inexpensive, I'll go there. And I think young people are starting to give that message to McDonald's and Kentucky Fried Chicken and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. When you talked earlier about is it Matt Park and Trey Stone from South Park? Are you proud of what those guys have done with South Park?
Well, they are big Troma. They grew up with Troma. When they were at college, they had Toxic Avenger parties, and they've been very nice to us. If you look at South Park, it's you can see the Troma influence with the body parts and all that kind of stuff. And but they have taken the satire. We've built our whole body of work on satire, which was a lost art. Mm-hmm. American satire was dead, and Troma was the only one doing it. And then these guys come along, and they've totally brought satire back in a big way. And now satire it's all over our medium, and all over our media. And those guys are just geniuses, and they are amazingly good guys, and they have had a huge impact upon our cultural world.
Yeah. I just wanted to say I always saw a lot of similarities between your movies and South Park, because on one level, it's someone might just see and think, oh, they like this show because it's it's kids swearing and you get dancing poop and whatnot, and someone might see your movie and think, oh, I just like it because it's disgusting. But then if you really watch it, there's a lot more to it.
Well, they have taken the Troma influences, but they've been able to mainstream it, and in a brilliant way. I mean, totally brilliant, totally original, and Team America is just the best movie I've ever. I mean, it's the best, and here we are, 12 years later. South Park is better than it's ever been.
Yeah, keep every year.
Those guys are just the best, and they're nice guys. They were on the cover of Newsweek magazine, I think it was. I'm not sure, but they were on the cover of some big magazine, and their next career move was to play a hermaphrodite couple in Terra Firma. They got no money for it, and I can't imagine their agents and handlers were particularly happy about it. Trey, by the way, did a nice part in Tales from the Crapper, where he gets his head crushed. I mean, those guys are the best. They couldn't be nicer. They're absolutely good guys. Mm-hmm. And brilliant. That's very rare. James Gunn, too, did Romeo and Juliet. He's bigger and better than ever, and he's constantly trying to support Troma and trying to keep us alive and keep people's attention focused on Troma's Poltrygeist and all that kind of stuff. By the way, I've got to get moving because I've got...
Yeah, I was just going to wrap it up.
Oh, okay, because I've got a very early plane ride tomorrow.
Yeah, I could actually tell it sounded like you were getting kind of tired here.
No, I'm not tired. It's just I've got to pack. I've got an early plane to Toronto tomorrow morning.
All right.
And if any of your listeners are going to be in Toronto, I will be at the Gladstone Hotel. So.
All right. I know we actually have some fans in Canada.
The Bloor Cinema, actually. Bloor Cinema is showing... Toxic Avenger uncut 35mm brand new print and Cannibal the Musical brand new print at the Bloor Cinema in Toronto. So, and then there's some kind of a convention. I can't remember what it's called. Stir something or other it's called. But you can go to the Troma website and look in the appearance section, or go to my MySpace, myspace.com/chickenzombie. And,
Excellent.
It should soften. You'll be able to see where I'm going to be.
Yeah. Well, we really appreciate you coming on tonight.
Well, thank you very much, and thanks for having such interesting questions. And I hope that this has been educational for your listeners. And again, thank you for supporting independent art and independent cinema.
Yeah, definitely. Keep here for 1 second before I let you go.
Sure.
This is John Knox, director of Jack Brooks' Monster Slayer, and you are listening to WithoutYourHead.com.